Hey YouTube, welcome to another episode of Nurse Nikki is Learning to Draw. I'm Nurse Nikki, and today we're going to be drawing a jellyfish and also talking about what causes art block. At least what I think causes art block anyway. So if you're interested, stay tuned. Okay. So here you see I draw the outline of the jellyfish. This was a very interesting jellyfish. I did not know jellyfish had tentacles that look like snot. Okay, so it looks like snot to me anyway. So I decided to draw this one. So as you can see, I drew the big outline of the jellyfish, the top portion of the jellyfish, and then I went in and drew the snot part. And then I added the lines for the different coloring that you'll see come later on in the video. So about this art block thing, I thought about it, and it seems to me, at least when it's happened to me, that the reason that a lot of people have art block is because of time. So what do I mean about that? Well, think about it. It doesn't take long for you to get into art where you're starting to draw and do coloring until you find out how much time it's going to take. And I think what happens to people is they realize that certain things are going to take so much time. It doesn't help them in their creativity, because the worst thing that you want to do is choose something to draw that you end up not really being that interested in, number one, and that maybe is so complex or you didn't quite prepare for it, so it ends up being bad, number two, and that whole process take a long time. I've had it to where it took me 3 hours to do something. Now, it could be because I don't have as much experience as other artists do, like more experienced artists, but I believe this particular drawing took anywhere from 3 to 3.5 hours for me to do the drawing and the coloring and all that kind of stuff. So you can imagine, if I wasn't going to be happy with that, then I would be upset at the end if it didn't look the way I wanted it to look, or I just wasn't interested in it anymore. And I think that's what causes people to have that art block, that fear of, I'm going to spend all this time doing this thing and it's not going to be what I expected it to be. So I have one huge tip that I think not one. So I have 2 tips that I think that every artist should do so that it can help them overcome art block. And the 2 things are this. One is make sure that you're doing thumbnails. So what does that mean? Thumbnails are just like quick sketches of things that you want to do. So say you decided you wanted to draw Iron Man, right? What you would do is just quickly sketch out the pose for Iron Man and maybe the environment that you wanted him to be in. And then you're doing it really quickly. So you're not making anything you're going to fully render. That's not the purpose of it. It's just so that you can see, if I finish this is kind of what it would look like, kind of. And then you just go ahead and do a few sketches like that and look at them and decide which one you want to go with. And then what you would do once you have that sketch is maybe make a couple more sketches that look like that. Again, very rough, so you're not spending a lot of time on this. And then you can throw color on that so that you can see what kind of color scheme you want. So if it's not an original character, like I said, Iron Man, Hulk, they already have their colors, so you can just go with that and it makes it an easy process. If it's something more of an original character, maybe you make a couple of sketches that look the same or copy them, right? What you could do is, if you have a computer, you could scan the images in and make copies of them and print it out, and then try different colors on the sketches that you've made, so you can see what the colors would look like in the sketches and the pose and the environment that you have, so that would help you as well. So that the process of doing all that would maybe be, I don't know, maybe an hour. Hopefully it wouldn't take you that long. And then once you're satisfied with what you have, and then you can go ahead and dedicate the time to the piece that you want to dedicate. But I think that those 2 suggestions are really good for overcoming art block, because if you know going into trying to draw stuff and doodle and do all that you're not going to spend 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 100 hours trying to render out this piece that you will eventually not like or turns out badly. I don't know. Those are my thoughts. When I sat and I thought about it, about why people have art block and what could be the reason, that's what I'm thinking it is. It's the fear of wasting time. So a lot of people may not talk about it like that, that, but you always wonder psychologically what is happening in your mind when you can't do something. And usually it's some kind of fear, and I think that is what the fear is. Anyway, my jellyfish is about complete. Like I said, this took me about 3 to 3.5 hours. I thought long and hard to do this one, but it just came down to I just love how pretty the colors looked on the photo that I was looking at, and I wanted to see if I could replicate that. Question of the day: what do you think causes your art block, and how do you overcome it? Please leave that in the comment section below. I really appreciate you spending your time with me today. If you like what you heard, please give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you can see when I upload next. And if you haven't decided from this one video that you should subscribe, please watch some of my other videos. And I thank you for your time. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye.